Hey guys, it's Leslie and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, hi, hello, welcome. My name is Leslie and I'm super excited that you're here joining me today because we are going to be on the topic of going back to work as a mother, as a postpartum mother, and just all things work related as a mom. And so if this sounds like your cup of coffee, then please keep on watching. So, I do want to give a preface that I am a mother of two children and I am currently 8 months postpartum after having my second baby. And for as long as both of my kids have been alive, I have not worked. I stopped working when I was pregnant with my firstborn back in mid-November of 2022, and my son was born in mid-December 2022. So literally, we're going on about 2.5 years that I haven't worked. And so I was working before I had kids, and I was even working while I was pregnant, but I stopped working after having my son. I had actually went on maternity leave. I had my son, and then after having my son, I had actually was getting government money for disability because I was diagnosed with postpartum depression and anxiety. And so I was bringing in some income for a short period of time while being postpartum after having my son, but it wasn't like an income from a job or anything like that. And so that money had only lasted X amount of time. And then after that, I have not officially brought in any money while being a mom and while having these two kids. I just wanted to kind of give a little bit of that backstory just so you guys can kind of like get the full perspective of the full picture. And so now here we are, jumping forward, present day. Let's talk about why we're even talking about me going back to work and just this whole concept and idea of me going back to work as a mother of two, as a postpartum mother, and let's just roll with it. So, as a personal backstory, I had actually gone to nursing school and I did that full thing. I attended a college, I did the full classes and everything. I completed the full course, but unfortunately, I did not pass. And so I did not get any licensing or any degrees for nursing. And so that really was a big letdown for myself. And I was very disappointed in myself. And after that, I just kind of felt like a little bit lost, not really sure of what I was going to do, if I still even wanted to do that, to be honest with y'all. And so after having my firstborn and my secondborn, and those labor experiences were completely different. And so one of them had a more negative connotation, which was with the birth of my son. And then the other one had a more positive connotation with them, and that was with my daughter. And so I had done the full nursing school and everything before I had my son. And then when I was pregnant and had my son, everything was just like, I wasn't really sure of anything. I was a first time mom. I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't know what was going to go on, just all of those things. I was just a first time mom and I was just kind of like going into it with the blind eye. And so after having my son, then I realized, oh, you know what? I'm getting a little bit better educated now, or now I'm experiencing these things for the first time and now I know for the future. And so I was just taking a lot of pickets and pieces from being pregnant for the first time, giving birth to for the first time, being postpartum for the first time. And so when it came to me being pregnant again and us having our second baby, I really was locking in because as far as I was concerned, I was going to take full and total control of trying my absolute best to have a positive birth experience with my second baby. And so when I was pregnant with my daughter, I had actually got really deep into just positive, unmedicated natural births. And so I kind of just went into this rabbit hole, but in a really, really good way, in which I educated myself. I was hearing so many other women's perspectives and their stories and their tips, opinions, and tricks, and literally everything and all of that. And then when it came to me being in labor and giving birth to my daughter, it was such a beautiful, wonderful experience. And while I was doing my research and while I was pregnant, preparing for birth, and all of that stuff, I got really deep into doula work and birth working. And so it wasn't until after I had my daughter that I realized, you know what, I really want to become a doula. And so I took some time to really kind of figure it out which type of doula I wanted to be, because there's different types. And I came to the realization that at least for right now, I want to be a birth doula, and I want to get my certificate to be a birth doula and do that work professionally with other mothers out there. Because let's face it, I am not going to be pregnant and birthing children for the rest of my life. It's only going to be for a period of time in my life that I will be pregnant and birthing children. And so, just with the knowledge, experience, and the education that I now have that I gathered just from myself, once I get the certificate and once I start helping out these mothers, it's going to feel just like a high every single time, because it really is incredible when you have a positive birth experience. And so, just pretty much the experience that I had and the knowledge that I have and the things that worked for me, I would really love to just share it with other mothers out there. And I deeply feel a connection in being a birth doula and just working with other mothers, parents, and families out there who are expecting. So now that we're all caught up to speed, I have actually been in the works about registering myself into a program to get my birth doula certificate, and I have a full start date in mind and everything. I've applied for a scholarship that which so thankfully is available to us as military spouses, and you best believe I'm going to be taking advantage of that. And so I've just been doing some research of just like videos about, being a doula for beginners, doula school information, what is a day in the life of a doula, what are great equipment and tools to have as a doula, all of the tips, tricks, and hacks of being a doula. And so I'm just like, I'm really getting into that right now. And that's just like my full headspace right now, of course, while still being full mom mode at the same time. And so the date of me actually possibly starting school, because I have not yet officially been accepted and enrolled yet. Like I mentioned, I'm just in the works of it, and I just don't want to say too much just for, privacy reasons, and just in case if things don't go as planned, knock on wood that it doesn't, but just, there's a little bit of chance. But I do have a start date in mind if I do attend this school, get accepted and granted the scholarship. And so that would actually be relatively soon. And so once I get my certificate, I definitely really want to put it to use, because I don't want it to just be something that I have right there just plastered on the wall and it's just going to be sitting on the wall and collecting dust. Like, I want to put the certificate, the knowledge, experience, education, and all of that to use, and I would love to go back to work. But something that I had brought up to my husband, and I'm sure other doulas may experience this, is I'm a mother myself, and I will always, always put my family first, meaning I will always put my kids first. And so, with that being said, while doula is a passion of mine, being an amazing mother is just top priority. And so, once I'm ready to go back to work and put my birth doula certificate to use and help out other moms and families and parents, I don't know what I'm going to do with my kids. And so that is why we're here. We are here pretty much to have a open conversation. And so if you are a mother out there, if you are also a doula out there, please let's chat it up in the comments, because I would deeply love to get in contact and then just to hear like your feedback, your input, and your experience and everything. Because that is something that I truly don't know what's going to happen and how it's going to happen. And if you've been following me, then you know that we are military family. We're states away from our home state and all of our close friends and family. And so we don't really have support of having a family member watch our kids or having a trusted babysitter to watch our kids, because like I've been saying, I have been a stay-at-home mom for my kids' whole life. I've been watching our kids whenever my husband was out for work or work related reasons. And so we don't have any family here or trusted friends here that we can leave our kids with when my husband is working and when I will soon to be working as well. And so that is kind of just like a really big worry and fear for me. And I'm just really hoping that it doesn't eat me alive to the point where I just say, you know what, never mind. I can't do this. I can't go back to work. I can't be a doula. I can't put the certificate to use. And so I'm just really trying to be optimistic and I'm trying to keep my options open. But at the same time, we are still relatively new to this area. We've been living here for shy over a year here. And so we still don't have any family here and we're branching out and making friends, but it's not of that friendship yet in which I can leave my kids with them for X amount of time because we are still getting to know one another. So that's where I feel that it's just a common struggle, especially in the military lifestyle of not having close family and friends nearby in the area for when both parents are back at work and there's kids involved. And it's just that issue of figuring out childcare, where are the kids going to be, how well are the kids going to be taken care of. And so I do acknowledge the fact that we are totally blessed for me being a stay at home mom the whole duration of my kids' life. And we're also very much blessed in the fact of I don't have to go back to work, but I am choosing to go back to work because I find it within myself that this passion really drives me forward and it's something that I'm willing to take the step forward for. And so, with that being said, I really do tip my hat off to, first of all, single mothers out there who are also working and taking care of their kids because that girl, you are running like 10 marathons all in one day because that is definitely like just super mom right there. But second of all, to the families in which the mom and the dad are both working because they both need to be working and they have kids and they have an arrangement for childcare and for someone to watch the kids. So I really do applaud that as well because I know it can be very hard for parents and especially mothers to go back to work when they are forced and they don't want to go back to work just for whatever personal reasons it may be. And so as I talk to with my counselor, I have a bad habit of fortune telling and just kind of negatively predicting the future and it ended up just causing me stress and not really having a good impact on my life. And so just this issue of okay, when I go back to work, who's going to watch the kids and for how long are they going to be watching the kids? That two questions in itself is kind of seeping into my brain and I'm doing a bad habit of fortune telling and just letting it kind of fog up my brain a bit. But like my amazing counselor said, that'll be an issue for when the time comes. And so I just need to focus on the now and focus on making sure that I'm accepted into the school, making sure that the scholarship covers my tuition, and doing the classes, getting my birth doula certificate, and that'll just be phase one. Phase two is me going back to work and figuring out the childcare situation. Of course, I'm going to have to revisit this situation and figure out these two questions later, but for now, I am just going to hone in on making sure that I am able to attend these classes and get my birth doula certificate because I really don't want this cloud to rain and storm over my parade because I just feel very happy and very proud of myself that I have figured out what I want to do with my life because I am in my mid 20s. I'm a wife, I'm a mother of two. And although that is amazing, being a mom to two kids, being a wife to my husband, and being military family, I feel like this is something that is definitely a huge stepping stone for myself as a person, as an individual, but also too for my family because now I will have something that my kids can look up to and that my kids can be proud of mom and see the progress that I am making as their mother. And also, too, just for my partner, that he can see the progress that I am making as his partner, as his best friend, as someone that he truly and deeply supports. And so, with that being said, I just really wanted to come on here and just chat just the things that have kind of been on my mind and just, I guess, a little bit of an update in terms of how I'm doing and what I'm doing for myself in terms of going back to work, my career choices, and just the raw, real realities of mom life, mom thing. And so I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're not subscribed already to support me on my journey here. And if y'all like my content and want to see more of my content, then I do post on other social media platforms. My username is lesliedelaylah on all social media platforms. And with that being said, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.